Someone is pleased to reunite and greet you. Today, we are talking about fetuses with consequences related to abortion, fetal killing. The fetus, when it is in the womb to develop into a human being, is an organism. According to some people, the fetus is at first just a living cell, has no feelings, and knows nothing about, but according to the religious conception and spiritualists, since being a virus in the drop of water, the male semen, the fetus, has been a soul, a human being. Not only knowing itself as a human being, the fetus also has supernatural abilities to communicate with parents and relatives, to express their aspirations and dreams. In heaven, spirits are immortal, whatever they want. But it seems that being reincarnated as a human is a great joy for the spirits, although the spirits know the world is a place of trial, full of suffering and sickness, and in the end the fetus must also die. To heaven, for some reason, not being born as human is a misery to fetuses. When they return to the underworld in the mood of being destroyed by their parents, the spirits will revenge on those who have hindered their evolutionary path. Through years of research and finding evidence from those involved in the plots of abortion, we give the following comments. If not for the plausible reasons such as poverty or oppression, the spirits who have been aborted will follow and cause many risks and property damage to the mothers who mercilessly destroyed them. The mother, after an abortion, is very difficult or unable to give birth anymore. We would like to relate the following stories about the fetus. The fetus asked her grandmother to save her. A family very close to us recounted the daughter's planned abortion as follows. This family has a newly married daughter. In Vietnam, during the war in 1960, because of her difficult life, she became pregnant. She feared that the fetus would affect her work. So, the couple plans to have an abortion. The couple did not tell their parents of their intentions. Sometime after that, the mother of the girl, sleeping at night, she dreamed of seeing a very beautiful little girl, came to hold her hand, pulled her shirt and said, "Grandma, please save me. My mother is going to kill me." A few times like that, the girl's mother thought it was just a nightmare. She did not believe it. But many nights the girl's mother kept dreaming of the baby crying for help. She recounted her dream of seeing the baby coming in a dream to her husband. The husband thought and believed that there was a mysterious story, but because he was a Christian, he was also skeptical. He heard his wife say that the baby called his wife a grandmother. That meant the baby was their daughter's child. He told the wife to meet her daughter separately and asked if she was pregnant, but apparently she was pregnant. The girl confessed that she was pregnant, and fearing that her big belly would interfere with her work, the couple planned an abortion. It is true that the fetus came to call for help in her mother's dream. The girl mother did not tell the dream she had seen the baby girl calling for help, but only advised the couple to keep the baby, because abortion could harm the mother's body and be guilty. She said, "You two keep the baby. If you cannot raise it, let the grandparents take care of it." Later, the girl gave birth a very cute and beautiful girl. In particular, she seems to have known her before. Every time she visits, she rushes to hold her hand and says, "Grandma, this is your little Miles." A friend is a soldier recounted. His wife also had a miscarriage once. One evening, he walked down the hallway of the apartment building to enter his room. He saw a baby sit on a potty near the door of the room. He thought maybe his wife let his child sit on the toilet, and she had just entered the room to get a tissue for him, but when he opened the door, the room was locked. He had to use the key to open the door, and he found his son sleeping in his wife's room. Thus, the baby he saw sitting on the potty near the door was the ghost of the fetus. A fetus to revenge. I have a niece in the western countryside. She went to visit me in Saigon. That day, she bought a pair of pants. Then she rode a bicycle, and the leg of the trousers was caught in the chain of the bicycle, torn a long line. She told me not to understand why. For a long time, every time she sewed or bought a new pair of pants, she was torn, because of many reasons such as being caught in a thorn, dog biting, slipping and falling, burning in the kitchen. I joked. Perhaps she was disturbed by some spirit. Let me try the necromancy to conjure up a spirit. I used a pen questioning method to do this. There was a spirit saying that she was an aborted fetus, and she was buried at the base of the guava tree where my niece often went there to urinate. I told my niece that the fetus was destroyed and buried near the base of a guava tree, but I did not tell her to urinate near the base of a guava tree. I told my niece, when she come home later, burn incense and apologize, and do not urinate near the guava tree. I asked the fetus if she needed anything. The fetus said she needed a meal and a pair of shoes. According to Buddhism, the dead often ask for material offerings such as money, clothes, cars, and houses. My niece and I also complied with the wishes of the fetus, brought offerings, incense sticks and shoes that I cut out of colored paper and burned them in front of the house. A few days later, I asked if the fetus had received the shoes. The fetus said thank for the food, but the same foot shoes. I suddenly remembered that, because I did not believe in the fact that the spirits accept material offerings. So I took a piece of colored paper, folded it in half. Then I put it on my left foot and cut it like a foot. That means 2 sheets of paper with the same left foot. Because the paperboard on the top and bottom sides are different colors. So the fetus received the shoes of the same color, the same left leg. I understand that the spirit is real and that offering objects to the underworld according to the Buddhist conception is real. I said sorry to the fetus because I was inadvertent. After that, I found a colored paper with glitter, drew a beautiful flower, and cut it exactly 2 feet to burn it to the fetus. After that, I went to the U.S., so I did not have the opportunity to ask my niece if she still had new pants worn. Concerning the Buddhist rite of offering materials, I remember in 1965, an intelligent building was located on an old graveyard near Tan Son Nhat Airport. One night, in my night shift, I dreamed of seeing many villagers attend a big feast in a rural area. The day later, I told some service women about the dream. They said because it was a new building on a graveyard, they had to burn incense sticks, pouring Vietnamese wine and scattered rice to offer the ghosts, so the ghosts did not disturb them. In the same building, some night before, I dreamed of seeing 2 young ladies hurriedly climb through the opened window of my room to get out, as if they were ordered to move out. The fetus was fairly vindicated. This is a story of a Catholic family. Through our acquaintance, a lady told us the story as follows. The lady, anonymous name, was over 30 years old, married with 3 children. She had absolutely no signs of conception as before. When her belly was a bit big, she went to see the doctor that she was pregnant. She was surprised by this unexpected pregnancy. Then she gave birth to a son. The baby was born normally, but did not seem to be as healthy as his siblings. At 6 months, he had dengue fever. He was cured, but the body was weak. About a few months later, he again suffered a fever, then fell into a coma, and the baby's health left her family very hard at taking care of him. She was very sad and discouraged. She wondered why her family suffered a punishment like this. Then one night, she lay asleep, dreaming that a woman came to tell her the baby was a fetus. It was aborted and thrown into a drain. She asked her to raise the baby. When she woke up, the lady thought that maybe this was Our Lady asking her to nurture this poor fetus. And then after that, her family always had good luck at work. Her husband worked as a builder, won many big contracts. She felt relieved because she was worried about Mary. As for the baby, his health condition was weaker and weaker, and the hospital advised her to pull out the oxygen tube to let him rest. She did not dare to decide. She knew that the baby could not prolong the life. But every day she looked at him lying like a corpse. It hurts. She allowed the Archbishop's permission and asked the Holy See permission for her family to decide according to the hospital's opinion. She recounted it. After the baby has been drawn from the oxygen tube, its body was naturally pink, plump and beautiful like a sleeping angel. Comment, this is a very special case in which God has to act fairly for an abused soul. We would also like to say that a woman, when pregnant, she often dreams of meeting a baby. And when a soul enters the womb, the woman, upon her first pregnancy, is having a phenomenon like being hit by the wind, falls unconscious for a few seconds, and then regains as healthy as usual. In conclusion, destroying the fetus is killing living beings. Many fetuses are murdered. Their resentment can cause catastrophe for a nation. Thank you for listening. Sun Lin.